Ladies and gentlemen, thank you all for joining. You're here with another episode of No Cap Radio. I'm your host, Dion, aka Domi Dow Jones. They know me as an artist and songwriter. And I gotta introduce. This is Antoine Carey. How you feeling, brother?
I'm well, bro.
And my co-host, Reese Thomas. And it's an honor to be here with both of them. You know why? Because they're both public speakers. And this guy here, we gotta share, Reese.
I ain't want to say
yeah,
that.
we gotta shed some light on our guy because he's a Fredericksburg, Virginia area entrepreneur, public speaker, and community activist, and barber. You know, you're a teacher, you're a mentor, you're a role model citizen for the community, and people look up to you whether you know it or not, just by the work that you do. So that's very commendable. I want to start with that there.
Thank you.
True philanthropist.
True philanthropist. Absolutely.
I greatly appreciate all the accolades and everything. I always start off with my disclaimer being, I'm just Antoine Carey. I'm just me, but I greatly appreciate the acknowledgement. It feels great to be in a place, to be recognized, to be invited. You know what I'm saying? No Cap Radio. Again, like I was sharing with you all, the work that you all do is very commendable. I had the opportunity, the pleasure, rather, to view some of your pre-recordings and everything that you're doing, and it's an honor to be able to not only align myself, but to be a part of your movement.
Yeah, thank you, brother. Thank you, brother. No we thank you just for being here on the show. And Miss Rogers, she did. She informed me yesterday that you had just met with the governor of Virginia for recidivism. So can you please explain what that's about and what recidivism is?
All right, so the easy answer, recidivism is the rate at which those return back to incarceration after being released. Yesterday, or excuse me, it's been 2 days ago now, you know what I'm saying? But we ventured out to Richmond, special invite, which, you know what I'm saying, again, I'm honored at any time that I'm allowed to, even be in the dialogue, let alone the venue for, you know what I'm saying, like stuff that I really feel does impact people. Governor Youngcomb, everybody not, be so big with riding with the brother, you know what I'm saying, with the man. But nonetheless, it does open up the dialogue, and the order that he was putting in the other day was Executive Order 36. Of course, he got his own mantra that come behind that, you know what I'm saying, how he's pushing it, but it is ideally a continuum of care which will encourage nonprofits, any other local organizations that are doing the same work to provide the resources and things necessary for those that have been affected by incarceration, but for their reentry into society so that they can get back to being productive members of society. I do feel a lot of it is cosmetic at best, you know what I'm saying, after having been there. And you know what I'm saying, I'm biased because, like, my story or my background comes from that, but it's still all good stuff, you know what I'm saying? It's a thing that's bringing everybody on board in order, you know what I'm saying, for the same objective. You know what I mean? In which case, we do know that incarceration affects everybody. Whether you yourself or family member has been charged or sentenced, convicted of a crime, even those that don't have those circumstances may fall victim to those same said crimes. So, you know what I'm saying, ideally it affects us all. The incarceration rate now in Virginia, it's ridiculous. And we need to understand that there is a whole population of people that's dealing with these circumstances. So, like, we need to be able to accommodate them so that we can welcome them back in the fold of community, society.
Well, we thank you for at least putting it on the table in front of the governor, regardless of the political affiliation. But just that you brought the put the issue on the table, that holds weight in it of itself. So thank you for that, brother.
I greatly appreciate it. From whom much is given, much is required.
That's
you know
it,
what I mean?
man.
It's a blessing. Like even with what you all are doing, I go back to that. Like, bro, you all have been provided a grand opportunity. You know what I mean? So with that opportunity comes responsibility.
That's it. That's
Word.
it. And I love when you said, I know this was off camera, but you said what you all are doing is producing fruit, like
Yeah, they say you know a tree by its fruit.
that way.
You know a tree by its fruit, and you know if that tree is not producing fruit. You know what I mean? And I deal with a lot of less fortunate, underprivileged. You know, those people that like really dealing with life, and life be lifing. You know, but they find themselves really having to deal with that, and anybody that would want to intercede on their behalf, you know what I'm saying, that says a lot about them for real. And I think that's the work that y'all doing here now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I always like to start from the beginning, man, because we talk about youth, we talk about underprivileged, we know we speak with youth, because I speak with youth as well, right? You always got to look at home, you know what I'm saying, what's going on at home, what they're dealing with.
Absolutely.
So you talk about incarceration in your story. Tell us, how did you come up, and, kind of how did you fall victim?
Great question. Great question, and a question I can't answer.
Yeah.
To the extent of, I did have a good upbringing. You know, my mother, hard-working mother, Martha Carthon Carey, Tootie Carthon. You know, raised 3 of us in the household. Worked every day, did everything that she knew to do as a single mother, which a lot of us are, you know, byproducts of single mother households. But also knowing that I have a father that was active in my life, you know, non-custodial, much like myself, but still very active. I know that he was sincere in providing or being there, you know what I'm saying, in the best way that he could. So my upbringing was not that of a lot of the foolishness that I found myself in. You know what I mean? Like a lot of the resources that others may have to go out there to pursue was already provided for me. Nonetheless, young black males, we are drawn to those things that may not necessarily be favorable results. You know what I mean? I always say the documentary Fade in Full, available on YouTube. Fade in Full, the story of Antoine Carey. My son has watched this documentary more than anybody.
Yeah.
And with all of the content and jewels that's in that story, bro would ask me, was like, yo, Daddy, what you use to make the drugs look like that?
What?
And like I'll be blown, like, bro, why you focus on that?
that.
Like why is that even, like, it took nothing to do that. Why is that something that you are naturally drawn to? But for that, I feel as black men, as black fathers, like we definitely need to be active as well as intentional in trying to kind of divert them away from that. And to your question, that wasn't my upbringing, but I still had that lure that drew me to the less favorable circumstances, situations.
Yeah.
The only reason I ask is because when you say non-custodial, your father was not in the household, basically.
My non-custodial just being, my father was not with my mother when I was being raised. He was not in the household. I'm sure he may have had limited access to me or say so, you know what I'm saying, authority. You know, but nonetheless, you know, he always presented himself, and like my childhood was that of, you know, in anything that anybody would aspire to. You know, I got 3 sisters. You know, like I say, I'm the baby boy, but you know, my sisters like doing, you know, exceptionally well, you know what I'm saying? But then comes Antoine, you know, and Antoine wanted, you know, dibble and dabble in things like, well, Antoine won't even expose to. He had to dig that out or uncover that in order to even get involved.
I just think it says a big thing about the father, because we always see when a father's not in the household. Like they say,
statistics will show.
Yeah, a single father, you know, household. it's basically like having mom and dad at home, you know, because you have that structure, you have that discipline. So all I'm just looking at, you know, from the outside, and then the fact that he wasn't there to lead you, you know, every step of the way may have
So, all right,
caused
so
you
then,
to veer off.
so a question that part of the reason why I was saying was like I couldn't answer that question because, you know, I used the analogy, say, of Christmas. Nobody sat me down and told me there was, you know, a jolly, you know, Santa that was gonna slide down the chimney. When I was like, I kind of incorporated that. You know what I mean? No, nor did nobody sit me down and tell me, no, bro, the way to go is like, bro, you need to get in the streets. You know what I'm saying? Nobody never did that, but still, like I was drawn there. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Like nobody set me down to tell me this was the only way and the actual way or whatnot. But like I was drawn there to my detriment. You know what I'm saying? Much like others. But what I was shown was the proper way, and I do come from that. I am a byproduct of a good upbringing.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah. And that's why I say it's no coincidence that you're on No Cap Radio today, because a lot of the guests that we've had on the show previously, you've crossed paths with them.
Right.
You know, so and I think about all the good work that you've done in the community despite that upbringing and your, you know, you being drawn to the streets and whatnot. But I mean, you've given free haircuts, you're a barber, you know, you've
From
opened
whom
an
much is
academy, you're
given.
teaching. Like what gave you that, you know, that light bulb that went off and said, you know, I'm a show altruism with my heart and do this for these people for free.
So, all right. So to answer that question, being released from prison, I knew that I need to be able to produce something that, you know, gainful employment. Like I had to be able to get out there and actually produce a revenue. I did acquire my barber's license while incarcerated. Alhamdulillah, state of Virginia paid for that. You know, I did. I gave them every day they wanted, but what they gave me was a barber's license. So upon coming home and having this means of gaining not just employment, but, you know what I'm saying, generating income, whether it was cutting grass or cutting hair or cutting grass for real, like, bro, penitentiary won't it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like that offered me an opportunity to be able to come home and be successful. It wasn't until I worked in another guy's barbershop for a while. Not a fan of glass ceilings. You know what I mean, bro? You can't show me the next level and tell me I can't get there. Yeah, so that would kind of spark the going from barber to barber shop owner. So when I did reach, you know, take the leap of faith to go ahead and open a barber shop, I know that I needed to, like, I had to have barbers. A barber shop is only a barber, you know, it's only me if it's only one barber. You know, it's not a barber shop. And I know that I needed to bring on other people that, for one, because I was gaining some exposure at that time by the way of story of a redemption. Having got my barber's license in prison, and this is somebody that's opening a barber shop, all of my paperwork got to be right. Not everybody that's rooting is rooting for you. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people waiting to see you fail, especially when you have those backgrounds, you know what I'm saying? So that kind of like birthed the idea of opening a barber academy in order to bring other guys on the proper way, that is by way of licensure. This is one guy at it, man. What was your question again, bro?
Man, so I also want to speak on your faith, man, because you don't just do this out of just, you know, oh, I have to do it. You're not obligated to do none of this good work that you did. So your faith, look, I want to run this down because you work closely with both the Thurman Brisbane Center and Micah Ministries to provide haircuts for children and adults alike who cannot afford them, and help the homeless population try to gain employment.
So, So by way of, so I do have Fade in the Company Barber Shop as well as Fade in the Company Barber Academy. The shop is a barber shop. You know, I have licensed individuals. We pride ourselves on the fact that we do push education, and that is those that are licensed. Anybody that stands behind that chair when you go to that shop should have a license, no more, no less than when you stop at that stoplight. Everybody around you should have a driver's license.
No doubt.
You know what I'm saying? That's law. That's not me.
Yeah.
That's law.
Yeah.
I did gain my barber's license while in prison, and that Commonwealth seal, the same Commonwealth seal that sentenced me and gave me my time, was the same Commonwealth seal that made me a professional. That same seal is what defined me or made me a professional. I push that. For those that are coming into the academy, these are students. These are those that understand the value of having that license, and they are taking the proper measures in order to be able to achieve that. It's a give and take. My students need live models. You know, a mannequin head, you know, we could order 1,000 mannequins, but that mannequin hair does not cut like real hair. So if at anything, it provided the opportunity not only for my students to have live models in order for practice, but it also gives us an opportunity to tie in and to give back to the community and build those relationships. I always say this, Chick-fil-A, impeccable customer service across the board. Across the board. These folks is not making a lot of money, you know what I'm saying? It's fast food, but like impeccable customer service. Now all they're selling is chicken. And you got Popeyes, you got KFC, you know what I'm saying? But it's like that piece right there is what separates them from everybody else. So in opening up Fade in the Company, the barber shop, as well as the Barber Academy, is like I want it to be more than just a barber shop or barber academy, and I think that comes by way of community involvement. You know what I'm saying? They say if you wanna hold on to something to get away. You know what I mean? And that ties back to from whom much is given. I've been placed in an opportunity to whereas I've been extremely blessed. You know what I mean? They say that Allah is the best of planners. There's no way that I could have said years ago, like, bro, I want to be on No Cap Radio, man, as an entrepreneur, this, that, and the third, and fourth. Like, there's no way I could have mapped that out. Bro, my man, there's no way I could have mapped that out. But I did see that path. You know what I'm saying? You know, and a lot of paths is already laid, you know what I'm saying, without having to beat down through that bush. You know what I mean? So like the path I would say was kind of already laid, and I'm very strategic and very cautious in walking that path, and you know, maintaining good relationships, doing right by people, and making sure that I'm giving back that is which was given to me. You know what I'm saying?
Got you.
Yeah. So your first time you spoke in 2016?
Public speaking, I was highlighted back in 2014 is when I met Mrs. Juanita Shanks. Ms. Juanita Shanks is CEO of Feel Safe Era. It's a nonprofit, CO3, 501(c), excuse me. I always get that confused. But Golden, and this was a woman that was sincerely dedicated to reentry by way of her son. I was blown away, first off, to even know that there are people that have not been directly infected by incarceration that are standing, you know what I'm saying, as a mediator in a mission for real. Like, there's sure enough people that are sure enough invested in trying to make you better than, you know what I'm saying, what you are, especially if you come from them circumstances. I met her in 2014. I did have Fade in the Company already. It was established. But in order to take it to the next level, it was like it required those partnerships, those relationships. But I had to be all the way right. For me, my thing is to bridge the gap, because there are those that are stand in need of resources, and there are those that have resources. A lot of times those that have the resources kind of look like the ops. You know what I mean? For anybody that been affected by incarceration, you know, you deal with police officers, probation officers, whatever. Everybody that seemed like they was against you whole time, like there's a whole population of people that are showing up for you. So for her to meet me and of course to express what was required of me in order for them to align with me, you know what I'm saying? Because they, you know, could be standoffish. But it gave me opportunity for more exposure. They poured into not only me personally, but also my brand. They was able to see my vision and see where I wanted to take it. And like I'm big on protecting them as well, for real, because you know that there are those that will see these resources that's being afforded them, and they don't have the best intention. So, you know what I'm saying, being a person that's coming from incarceration myself and having these resources afforded to me, I want to make sure that I did utilize them and that I provided them with what it is that they was looking for, success stories. You know, by way of that, I was able to open the academy and to be able to offer that opportunity to even more individuals, you know what I'm saying, much like myself.
And fadedandcompany.com. Faded, I feel like I'm out of camera. Am I in the camera? Fadedandcompany.com, ladies and gentlemen. You launched this store January 18th, 2018. What are you offering in this store?
So I'm big on building a brand, and there comes a point where the brand must separate from the individual. Faded and Company, like, we got all apparel. Fadedandcompany.com, we got an online store. You can get anything down from onesies to, I mean, anything, everything. iPhone cases, whatever. But again, for real, it's only to establish a brand. If you go on Walmart, if you go on Target, if you go on these other places, you know what I'm saying? It's like, those are the things to make something official, which it moves my heart to be able to see something, because Faded and Company once upon a time was just a thought in my head. Just like No Cap Radio, there was a time where you had to think, what am I gonna name this? And there's a lot in the name. There's a lot in the name. But to see it become a thing, to see it come to fruition, something that was a thought in my head, is not something that anybody or everybody can do or does. So with building that brand, I knew that, you know what I'm saying, that brand is not done with the person, that brand is done with community of people and relationships. So I know I had to put that together, aligning with fail safe, open up the door for me to kind of tie more into what my actual endeavor is. And like I'm biased because of my background, for like, I really want to provide opportunities for those that have similar circumstances.
And you are.
You know what I'm saying, consequences to what I had, you know.
Man, and you've been a part of so many panels on boards of events, and you've went to so many schools and penitentiaries and gave speeches. Like, what stands out to you? What are you most proud of that any of those speeches really stuck out? Like,
the specific speech, first off, I would say just the opportunity. Like, bro, like I have rubbed shoulders, you know, even with the governor, for real. Like, bro, I realized I took a picture with the governor. And I don't even necessarily rock with him, but you know what I'm saying? Like, I was pictured with this man, and when I was there, he would have received my conversation. Based off of, like, my reputation preceded me. Bruh, for real, he would have heard what I had to say. I do a lot of public speaking. Alhamdulillah, man, that's a blessing. I'm always moved more when I speak with a smaller group, that's a more intimate setting, and those that really are impacted, those that are in the midst of what they are going to, because they more receptive. You know what I'm saying? What I'm gonna give you is unadulterated, but it's like, folks are more receptive when, like, they in that place where, like, bro, I need some inspiration right now. I need some hope right now. Whatever, you know what I'm saying? And so to answer your question, anytime that I in front of me see the impact that what I'm doing is happening. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's truly been a blessing. A lot of times I am called out to speak to troubled youth, whether it's, in the detention center, whether it's, the troubled kids at the school or whatnot, to be able to tie into them. But just knowing that somebody, that what I have to say is something of some value to people for real. So it's like I can't single out, any one of them. You know what I mean? I don't discount being here with No Cap Radio. For real, all of it is the same to me. It is a win.
Have you been shown how rewarding it is, what you've done at these high schools and in these penitentiaries? Like, are they pouring back into you based on how you're pouring into them? I mean, just off good merit.
So again, big on building relationships.
That's it.
Just big on building relationships, and I think a relationship is not determined by one speaking encounter. You know what I'm saying? Like there's I done spoke a lot of different places, a lot of different times, but if the only real bond that was built was based off of you hearing me speak for us, like I failed you. You know what I'm saying? It's like the relationship side, like, bro, you gotta have access to me because there's more there. But at nonetheless, for us, like I always, I'm more than moved by any time I'm invited. I pride myself on, like, bro, if I'm gonna have a chance to take up your time, I want to be able to give you something worth hearing. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to just take up your time, whatnot.
I know I'm bouncing all around with these questions. Cool. You know, but this it'll keep them engaged. Like, man, he's covering everything because you've been given awards, you've been in magazines. All of these accolades, man. What does that do? They mean anything to you, or is it more about the mission?
It's definitely more about the mission, and still trying to answer your last question, man. The real successes that I see does come by way of students that enroll in the academy that show enough tie into me. The barbershop, the barber academy, the barber school, like all of that is cool. Like I mean, it's real cool, but it's only a vehicle. You know what I'm saying? Like my real play is the mentoring. You know what I'm saying? Like I want to forge a bond with you. I want you to know, like, bro, you got somebody that whatever it is, it might don't be barbering. It might be, you know what I'm saying, your issues with the family. It might be your issues with your lady. It might be whatever. And to know that there's somebody that you can tie into that's going to give you tried and true information, because I'm never gonna give you nothing nobody else told me. I'm gonna give you what I done been through. So it just opens up the door for that. So those are the greatest ones that I show enough, because I've been able to monitor the fruit of the labor of my students. You come in here, you enroll this year. Next year, I should be able to see you at this place. For that, I'm gonna ask you, like, bro, why you ain't went ahead and did ... yet? And it's gonna make perfectly good sense to you, because like that is the natural progression of what is to be expected of you. You know what I'm saying? And just to be a part of that and take a front row seat in their journey, you know what I'm saying, is what really means something.
And what's the Faded and Company Fade into Summer Community Day?
So prior to COVID, a lot of organizations would have a back to school event. Again, I'm always big on, making a distinction or being a separation. So we used to do a fade into summer, as opposed to end of summer going into school. We would do beginning of summer, end of school event.
Okay.
We had bounce house, music, food, just a community event in order, not even necessarily for the advertisement of the shop, but again, just a give back.
Giving back.
I feel so strongly business-wise, as far as being a part of a community that pours into you. I mean, automatically, like you supposed to. everyone should be able to see at least a piece that the wares that you are returning that, you know what I'm saying, on that same investment. We did it for 2 years, you know, COVID struck, we haven't got back to it. We was planning one this year, things, you know, kind of fell through, but like we hope to get back to that. Just a greater event in order to bring community together, not necessarily with Faded. You know what I mean? Like you could attend a Faded in the Company, you know what I'm saying, event or whatnot, and you know you all could link or whatnot. But it's like bridging, like creating a sense of, we say Faded family. We know how families can be, but you know, but like really family, family, man.
That's love.
Yeah, most definitely. So you speak at these events too? Any event you have?
So the fade into summer events we had, no itinerary, you know, really just to come out here and be amongst us. You know what I mean? Really, you know what I'm saying, with no real itinerary, no real agenda. Could we offer back day or free haircuts at that time? Of course. But not necessarily about the haircuts, not necessarily about advertisement, like just, you know, we out here with the family, no more than, you know, if you know, set the grill on fire at your crib and you know, the neighbors came through there. Right.
I think it's big to say that you came out, and from what it sounds like, what you telling us is you kind of hit the ground running, right? You had a plan in mind as when you came out, or was there a time where you were like, and I asked that because we got so many people struggling when they come out, you know, and then why they end up back in is because I don't know if they don't have a plan, or it's just you.
So, again, me, I attribute a lot of my success to having a good support system. I had great people around me, you know, prior to the bid, during the bid, and to come home for. The thing that I think causes an issue for a lot of those that are returning is creating a sense of urgency. You know what I'm saying? It's like, and I don't know if y'all been locked up.
Nah, I haven't.
I have 6 months.
All right. When you come home, you already unspoken have certain checkpoints. Like he gotta get his license. He got a little girlfriend there. You know what I'm saying? So we're in a relationship, and he going, you know what I'm saying? You know, then he got married, and you know, certain things that other people would look at you to say, all right, he's progressing. He's doing what he's supposed to do. But I also know, along with those things that you come home and you want to get to accomplishing, you create a sense of urgency for you. You ain't got to come home and take on all that weight for real, because like that weight was being carried while you was away. You know what I'm saying? Like, so what it's going to do is like, all right, but I am home now and I'm a man, so I got to pick up this weight or whatnot. All right, that's going to cause you to move fast. And if you ever moving fast, you gonna move too fast. I don't know how many chess players, you know, I'm a chess player, but it's like we play touch move. If you don't know the move that you gonna make, you don't touch that piece. Don't pick it up, don't set it down, no nothing for real. So it's like, and it's okay not to know your move. Study that board, watch that stuff, you know what I'm saying? But it's like, but you're gonna be quick to pick that piece up and move it somewhere else for real. It's like, all right, but now you stuck with having to make that move. Whole time, a lot of the resources or the moves that you're trying to make to accomplish certain goals is already provided for you. You just didn't know that all I had to do was holler at bro, and bro would have touched me, you know, put me on to this organization or this organization that's already gonna provide that. You know, because if you try to do it yourself, the words say if you want to go fast, go by yourself. If you want to go fast, go by yourself, man. But if you want to go far, which I think the goal is to go far, you need to bring on folks, and that go right back to from whom much is given. You know what I'm saying, bro? I've been given the opportunity to meet this man right here. You know what I'm saying? Boom. What's required of me is to lock in and to create a bond with that person so that that's sustainable, it's long lasting, it's gonna be beneficial not only now but later, and you know what I'm saying, and, you know, moving forward like that.
Absolutely, man. That wow, that holds a lot of weight right there. And I think and when you are locked down, you have so much time where you can map out things. And to be honest, I really didn't miss a beat, and I hit the ground running. And I know I didn't do nowhere near the amount of time you all did, but
Time is
man,
time, bro.
God
Time is
God
time.
definitely carried me and that cross for me. You know what I mean? Because I couldn't bear those burdens and carry it by myself. So he carried us both. So we definitely you know, we keep our faith there that he will carry us. So we
Continues to carry
yeah,
us.
we cast them burdens to him, man. Let him carry it. You know, and that's real.
Well, so, you know, per Islam, they say, like, man, trust in the law, but still tie up your camel. Like, bro,
Yeah,
there's
I
still
heard
work
that.
that's required
Yeah, anyway.
in with
I
that.
think that was a
Yeah.
Siegel line.
Yeah, still tie up your camel.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. They all, and I mean, and you can go back to like faith without works. Like, bro, it still
Right.
requires something from you. And that really has been, like that has been the story of my life, though, bro. Like, I've had some very, very unfavorable circumstances. But I sit here with you today is like, bro, I love my life, man. I love my life,
that's
bro.
big, yo. To say that.
I've and the potential for my life, bro. Like just in the space I'm in, like, bro, I can live with it like expectancy,
It's
like
unlimited.
yeah. I
possibility.
anticipate
Yeah.
other good stuff happening, bro. And
Yeah.
So go
Pardon
ahead.
me.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
So what's next then? You know, that sound like you got something in store.
So I will say this, like, and the only thing that I really have in store is like, man, staying true to the blessings that I already have, man. Again, from whom much is given, man. I've been given so much, so like I always try to stay in a place of humbleness. Per Islam, you know, when they say that the pen has not only been lifted, but the ink has dried. It's written. The good and the bad. What's for you is for you. The life that I'm gonna live, I feel is already laid.
He gonna lead you.
I'm very cautious with the word of free will. The only free will, Allah knows best, Allahu Alam. But the only freedom that I feel that I have as far as free will is my perception. The way that I choose to look at stuff. But what's gonna happen is gonna happen.
Yeah.
All I got is the way I choose to look at it, man. And at this point in my life, I'm so receptive to everything that's going on in my life. I know from whom it come. I'm so humbled by that I'm chosen to be the vehicle that this is gonna happen to or whatnot. And like I just keep that perspective, you know what I'm saying? I strap my seatbelt in, bro, when I ride.
That's
you know,
right
man,
on time. Because it ain't happening to you, it's happening for you.
Yeah. And I get a front row seat to it, man. and it's been great. Like, bro, to be here with you all. I spoke about it before. We talk about it after this for real. It's like, bro, it really means something to me to be honored to be in this position
Thank you,
because
brother.
it didn't have to be me. You know what I mean? It don't have to be me.
Thank you, brother. And that's what I love, man. You know, such prestigious men doing such great work, still able to sit here and, you know, rap, had this conversation in such a down-to-earth tone, man. Like, this is what No Cap Radio is about. This is the brand in the face of No Cap Radio, man.
Bro, that's the caliber of man I'm sitting with, though.
Yeah.
I'm the guest only by way of this episode. Yeah, outside of that.
I understand too, you feeding us, you know what I'm saying? Not just our
Appreciate
guests.
you.
So we're honored for you to be here, you know what I'm saying?
Word, bro. It means it did not return void, bro. I received that in the same token you gave it, man.
And y'all check out how my man has presented himself to come on No Cap Radio, man.
It would be crazy not to be here. Again, I was telling the brothers, like, man, there comes a time where you separate the individual from the brand. You know what I'm saying? That's what the LLC is. You know, Antoine Carey, man, they might throw him behind them bars at any given time for real. It's like, but faith in the company, the brand must last, must live. So an opportunity to present faith in the company to the world, or to even to you all, bro. I greatly appreciate what you all are doing. I did my homework to see for it. Like, I wouldn't have dared showed up here nothing short of that, man.
Man, well, you did a great job, man. It's been
you,
an
man.
honor and pleasure to have you
Absolutely,
here. Thank you
bro.
for your time, man. And this doesn't have to be the last, man. Even like you say, if it's showing up on the show as another guest or just something you can do to help push this forward, is something we can do, be a part of something to help push you forward, that's what we about.
Yeah,
and Reese can vouch for that, man.
Absolutely,
Yeah,
man.
appreciate you.
Yeah, my man. We need more of this. There are a lot of, not necessarily underprivileged or less fortunate, but there's a lot of brothers, younger brothers that look just like us. And like exposure is big.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of times we only see what's required, like what's necessary. But it's the extracurricular. You know what I'm saying? It's this for real. Like they need to see not only the work that's being done, but the fruit that's being produced from that, bro. So to be around you all, like, bro, we could turn this off and we could just kick it later for real, like. But and it does great for the morale. It is definitely inspirational, motivational. Myself included, just to be somebody that's thought of having something that would inspire or motivate for real. It's like, bro, they need more of that for real. And we behind. You know what I mean? We behind. So that much more we still need to do. That's still required of us, man.
That's right.
But I commend No Cap Radio. Definitely an honor. You know, if you haven't had the chance to check out any of the previous episodes or whatnot, I would encourage you to go back and watch them as I've done. Definitely enjoyable. Great content of various topics or whatnot, but you know, like support your folk though, man, for real. Like, yo, because this is all of us. Like really, this is all of us. It's all of us, yo. If you want to go fast, we want to go far. We want to go far, man.
We go together. I think it say a lot, even to say that if y'all know anybody who dealt with a situation like Antoine, you got any youth that's headed in that path, man, show them this, man, because this says a lot to see you, what you have done. It says commendable and it's very motivational.
Thank you, brother.
Motivational as well.
Thank you, brother. Thank you.
So like, comment, share, subscribe, spread the word, y'all. And shout out to Rock and EK. And y'all heard it directly from Mr. Antoine Carey himself, y'all. This is No Cap.
Slight.
We out.